That's the only way he was going to get a main event this year. The only way.
Oh gosh,
He wasn't going to be the opening on night one. I'm just saying.
I had a feeling that it was going to come down to this. We were going to have to deal with this for a while. Brian H is throwing up his ones. There's a lot going on.
Man, throw up your ones.
With that being said,
are we paying our respects to AJ today? Or
no. The red light
news.
The red light is on, which means the Wrestling Realm Now podcast is back for another episode full of superior wrestling intellect, because goodness gracious, we are fresh off the 2026 WWE Royal Rumble. And we had a crazy show that did pretty decent numbers last week, which is surprising because previous shows don't do well for us. But anyway, it did great for us, and so did the Royal Rumble. So we have a lot to get into. So we're not going to waste any time. We all saw what happened. We all know what we watched. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Prepare yourself for some intriguing conversation when it comes to the road to WrestleMania, because it is finally here. It is Black History Month. We are back to having our Black History Month spotlight, and more so. Buckle your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes!
And because the belt is going back where it belongs, we could go.
Oh gosh, I can't believe I'm following this. Welcome to the Wrestling Realm Now podcast, where we take a deeper dive into the world of professional wrestling. Now, I'm your host, yours truly, the realness himself, the real Dwayne Allen, and I am indeed in the building. And he is your host, not just any producer, but dressed in all black because he thinks we're celebrating the funeral. Mr. Super Producer, Brother Hugh has the third H to the A to the S, T to the H to the E, 3 to the R to the D is in the building. And he is your host, not just any guy, but the Belt King himself, Brandon the Guy is back in the building. And he is your host, the man that we have to deal with who knows how long. Now that Roman Reigns has found himself back in the main event of WrestleMania, the man, the myth, the legend, the heart and soul, and truly still Mr. Steal Your Show, because he's a heel and probably going to be a bigger heel in 2026.
Hollywood.
Brian H. Waters is in the building. Goodness great. You're going to be insufferable. I feel it. I just, the minute the Royal Rumble ended, I said, all right, hold on. Now let's see how long we got to deal with Brian H. for the next month, because he's been on quiet time. He's been on quiet time for the last year and a half, maybe 2 years. And now we are back. Between you and Adam, I don't know who's going to be. I've been telling everybody I got to deal with Brian H. and Adam now, because this is ridiculous. Everybody's quiet, but now everybody's running their mouth. But anyway, I digress.
Hey, man.
Welcome to another episode of the Wrestling Realm Now podcast. Brothers, we're back. Man, Royal Rumble was something else, wasn't it?
We are back.
It was
something else, wasn't it?
It was.
Listen, this will probably be the only Rumble I don't go back and rewatch, because I don't want nothing to ruin it. Don't want anything to ruin it.
You know what? You sound like somebody that has been drastically affected by Triple H and his team of booking. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we will get into all of that and more. But first of all, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask the brothers. We're back in full force. How's everybody feeling, man? We had I say this every week. We had an action-packed week of professional wrestling. A lot is going down, but God dang it, it's never not true. And we're back again. How's everybody feeling? I'm not talking to you, Brother Hugh. Brother Hugh's dressed in all black like he's coming from. That's why he made us wait to see what was going on.
Dressed in all black because of that NXT champion they just crowned. I'd be crying too.
No.
Man.
No,
You guys are starting fights already. We're not doing this.
We'd have lost another career. I'm just saying, you know.
Oh, jeez. How you guys feeling? We're back. What's going on? You brothers feeling good?
I'm sad, but I'm okay. You know why I'm sad? because we still haven't gotten Jericho, but that's okay because
I started to feel bad for you now, brother guy, because
nobody cares about Jericho.
I think at this point,
do.
brother
Stop
guy,
it. You do.
we would have gotten Jericho by now in the old regime. At this point, it's like, come on, let's not play these games. But they're making you wait for it. You got to work for this one. But brother Hugh,
the next hope is the Monday after Raw.
Well, just keep hope alive, brother Hugh. You're dressed all black. First of all, you look like Jason Weaver, like you about to sing "Give me a call if you wanna come roll with me." Or you about to appear on the episode of Smart Guy.
Just can't wait to be king.
What do you got going on that you are dressed as if you're going to a funeral? And I hope you're not referring to what the heck I think you are referring to. What's going on, brother? What you got going on, buddy?
Like I said when it came on, I thought we was gonna celebrate the career of AJ Styles, but
you're dressed in all black though. That's usually funeral.
I mean,
colors.
it's a celebration, but you celebrate at a funeral, right? But
do we really?
Yes, we do celebrate at a funeral.
People who
celebrate
money.
their life, the legacy of that person. Okay. So now we're gonna celebrate the life and legacy of his career.
Oh boy, AJ Styles officially retired. We have to get into that. So much happened at this year's Royal Rumble. Sami Zayn gave it his best. We gotta address that as well. Sami Zayn gave it his best. Ultimately came up short. We have two new Royal Rumble winners. Gunther has stepped into another stratosphere of being a heel. If I didn't dislike him before, I dislike him that much more now.
Right.
But with that being said, I'd be remiss if I didn't remind people, first and foremost, that 2026 is a very special year for the wrestling realm because we are celebrating 15 years of the wrestling realm. We have been going back and forth and having these conversations for such a long time. And 26 is the year we will be celebrating all year long. Superior Wrestling Intellect of 15 years. Brian H. and myself, we decided to venture on this journey years and years ago, but 2026 is a different year for a lot of reasons. So everything that's happening this year will always have its place in time. It's going to stand its test in time because this is an anniversary year. We are celebrating all the things that we've done and all the things that is to come. But if you are not familiar with what we have not done or what we have done, and maybe you forgot, just take a quick moment to reflect on 15 years of greatness. So there you have it. 15 years, 2026, all year long, we will be celebrating. There's so much more to come. There's brand new content. There's a couple of TV specials coming. There's vlogs. There may be potential documentary or two may be released and may or may not. We'll see. But it's not just it's not just an anniversary for the wrestling realm. This is also February. And of course, if anybody knows what February is, it is officially Black History Month. And as brothers of color, we will be remiss if we didn't take the time to honor those in our industry who have helped pave the way and give them some type of recognition as far as celebrating them during this short month of Black History Month, because Black history is American history. But this is the month we choose to celebrate them, so therefore we are going to do so. So with that being said, this year's Black History Month spotlight, as we kick this off, goes to Teddy Long. Congratulations, Teddy Long. You are, first of all, let's give this man a round of applause. Teddy Long is our first Black History Month spotlight as we kick off the month of February. So with that being said, for those that may not be familiar with why we are highlighting Theodore Long, is because he is a former professional wrestling referee, manager, and authority figure, best known for his tenures in the NWA, WCW, and WWE. Teddy Long started out running errands for the boys in the early 1980s and eventually became a member of the ring crew and was eventually promoted to referee in the NWA's Jim Crockett Promotions around 1985. In 1989, Teddy Long would be relieved of duties as a referee after a dramatic heel turn, and he will eventually become the manager of another Black History Spotlight, Doom, the tag team of Ron Simmons and Butch Reed, and he led them to the NWA World Tag Team Championship. He also managed Johnny B. Bad, One Man Gang, Norman the Lunatic, the Skyscrapers, Dan Spivey and Mark Calloway, Marcus Badwood, Two Skull Scorpio, Joey Muggs, and more. But Long debuted in the WWF as a referee in 1999 at the Royal Rumble, and he stayed with that role until September of 2002 when he was taken off the road, and he would eventually evolve again because he was repackaged once again as a heel manager, and once under his full name as in Theodore Long, as perhaps the most notable managing stint in the period. He came managing a group of wrestlers known as Thuggin' and Buggin' Enterprises. That right there alone is worth the Black History Month spotlight. Long represented D'Lo Brown, Roddy Mack, Christopher Winsky, Rosie Markiri, and Jazz at different times, telling fans to get with the Brown and to back the Mac. Kurt Angle was fired as general manager in July of 2004, and Teddy Long became the new and first African-American general manager of SmackDown. Long is well known for his various catchphrases while portraying an authority figure, while most notably telling villainous wrestlers to go one-on-one with The Undertaker. His trademark, holla, holla, holla. His peacemaking now. Hold on now, just wait a minute there, player. See, I can't even get it right. And his kayfabe obsession for placing wrestlers in, you guessed it, a tag team match. And on March 31st, 2017, it was announced that he would be inducted into he was actually inducted on March 31st, 2017 into the WWE Hall of Fame. So we present to the world the first Black History Month spotlight of Black History Month and Theodore R. Long. Brothers, I'm sorry. Oh, Teddy Long. How do you guys feel about Teddy Long and his career and as a pioneer, what he's done for the Black
holla, player.
You forgot one thing. One-on-one with The Undertaker.
With The Undertaker.
Everybody's punishment was either a tag team match or with The Undertaker. But no, in all seriousness, he was definitely a pioneer before that became a thing for a Black man to be in that space. So he definitely showed that it's a place for everybody. And it seemed like he didn't take no for an answer, if you look like it, because he didn't give no as an answer because he did everything the company needed him to do.
Yeah, it's old school. Teddy Long was clearly a guy that he was someone that worked his way up. I said it, I consider that old school because it was the non-traditional methods of how, most people break into the business. Him not being an actual performer or wrestler, but him having the opportunity to kind of pay his dues and then work his way up and then show his personality in a number of different roles over the years. And of course, being the first Black authority figure, general manager of SmackDown on WWE, and for those that may not remember what he's done previously, he's almost had like 3 decades worth of runs in various fashions. So Teddy Long has definitely been one of my favorites. He's always a character staple when it comes to WWE, and of course his rightful induction to the WWE Hall of Fame in 2017. So those are my favorite memories of Teddy Long. Teddy Long's a funny one.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to him for all that he endured too.
Well, of course. Come on 100%. Now. Can you imagine what he probably had to go through?
Right. Yeah, especially he had to deal with Flair, Arn Anderson, the Ole Anderson, and all them.
Good Lord.
Stuff like, hey, if there was tapes around back then,
sure, a lot of guys would be canceled.
Yeah, but he endured it, and he helped other people get opportunities. So, forever grateful for good old Teddy Long, and I had the pleasure of being there at WrestleMania 33 when he got inducted in the Hall of Fame, and you could just see his gratitude for the business, and also to see his accomplishments and see him get recognized for that. I definitely, don't take that privilege lightly.
Yeah, shout out to Teddy Long indeed. Well, listen, we got a lot to get into, and there's no point of us wasting any more time. So, without further ado, let's just go ahead and ask our co-host Apollo Creed, Apollo Creed and Rocky Balboa to go ahead and do us the ceremonious honor of starting the show correct way by ringing the bell. Gentlemen, could you help us start the show, please?
Want to ring the bell?
Ding, ding.
Every week we do a segment known as What Did You Watch? Because the brothers have to consume tons and tons and tons of professional wrestling to make sure that our brains are in the right space to have superior wrestling intellect type conversations when it comes to the business of professional wrestling. And guess what? This week is no different, but let's not waste any time. We already know what the heck we watch. So without further ado, let's just get into it. Brought to you by our good friends at SeatGeek. If you're looking to purchase tickets to concerts, live shows, sporting events, and more, head over to SeatGeek.com where you can use our promo code WrestlingRealm for any one-time purchase of $50 or more. That's promo code WrestlingRealm on any one-time purchase of $50 or more. All right, brothers, what did you watch? Let's not waste any time. The Royal Rumble, brothers, let's talk about it. We're here.
Well, I thought we was going to talk about Ciampa and Briscoe.
No, you didn't.
Come on now.
You ain't even bring it up in the group chat.
Look, bro, I'm all off today. Good Lord.
Yeah, go back and hit the reset button. You off just like the Orioles.
That's on me. Right. That's another reason I'm wearing the black.
We talked about Ciampa last week. I think we get it.
No, we all good. Let's keep moving.
I think we get it. But the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble clearly took center stage. I know a lot of people were distraught about the Royal Rumble being part of Riyadh season this year in Saudi Arabia. Now, a lot of people had mixed reviews about it, but the Saudi audience was hot for the WWE. They've always been a really gracious group when it comes to the pro wrestling product, especially when it comes to WWE coming to town. But the Royal Rumble is probably the biggest event to date that they have hosted. They've even built their own new arena in like 35 days, which is, well, at another zero.
They tore it down too.
Man,
No, they didn't.
yeah, it's
Really?
nothing. It's nothing, bro. It's nothing. It's nothing to them. Add another zero.
Wow. Triple H didn't like his new toy.
It's
He
now
said,
the
"Like, make it look like
Saudi.
it's empty."
It's now the WrestleMania 9 setup.
Yeah,
Oh.
you heard that, Brian H? It's not a
Gotcha.
parking lot with a bunch of plaster Roman soldiers and stuff. Anyway,
And trash cans.
Royal Rumble.
Did you say Roman?
No, oh God, I set myself up badly. Anyway, all right, fellas, let's talk about it. Royal Rumble. How do we feel it? This is obviously the main event of our show is Roman Reigns. He's officially challenged CM Punk at WrestleMania. Man, there's a lot to unpack here, but we all know that where this is going, and the Royal Rumble led us there. So, without further ado, come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk about
Oh, but
Royal
Let's
Rumble.
talk about it, because let me tell you something. I enjoyed this Royal Rumble from start to finish more than I have probably since 2001.
Really?
And that's even, I haven't gone back and watched it.
Why do you say dates that are like historic dates? Like 2001 is a historic year. Historic. Those are like big number years. You always want to compare the stuff you like in the moment to the big number stuff. Talk to me. What are we talking about?
Because that's when it's like, you got to think of peak, right? And there's moments like, okay, if it could give me a certain feeling,
okay,
you know what I mean?
That's
and
fair.
I was thinking, I was like, okay, when's the last time somebody like won the Royal Rumble that I like really, really wanted them to win? Like, I mean, maybe, he who shall not be named
Shawn
because
Michaels
of
in
the
96.
story. Well, no,
Shawn
you know
Michaels
what though?
Shawn Michaels in 95.
That was 96, definitely not 95. But
Yeah, his
When I
outfit was
think of-
great.
when I think about like who, like, there's times when you want people to win because of a storyline. It's like in sports journalism.
Why do you say journalism that way? You're already starting to annoy me. Journalism.
Because man, it's such a beautiful craft that but I think back to like, they say when I started getting into it, I would ask different journalists, like, you have a favorite team or whatever, and they would always have root for a story. And in wrestling, it gets to be that way sometimes. But then you just have those times where you could just be a fan, and this year's Royal Rumble, it was so much fun, man. And I had the fried chicken just glistening because it was gonna be my last.
You got the cooking.
Oh, I got the cooking, and
Did you have your grape Kool-Aid too?
Don't be racist. It's Black History Month.
I'm just saying, he
Jerk.
threw it out there. You got to finish it.
He could have said Kool-Aid. He didn't have to say what flavor it was.
Right.
Even though we know
He
it was
said he's
red.
like red Kool-Aid.
I don't even
He
drink
said red.
Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
My mother forbade us from drinking that mess.
See?
But yeah, I sat there and we were sitting here watching. It was doing the watch along, and I always said, look, you know, if it's always fun when you watch with people. You know, I remember going to Loafers and sitting there. But even then, when John Cena won in 2013, it was like, it is what it is. But I wanted Roman to win. He won. I wanted Liv Morgan to win. She won. And I was like, oh my gosh, like just being a fan, it was fun, but also just the story, being able to see my guy Oba Femi go out there and do his thing. Looking at Bron Breakker, you know, now got some adversity, which was something I like. You know what I mean? So, and then Drew McIntyre just put Sammy down. Like, yeah. You know, and Gunther and AJ, they did their thing. But overall, well done. I'm going to watch it again. It's just been such a busy week. But, yeah, this has replay value. And I'm sorry, y'all. United States pay-per-views, PLEs, count your days.
It's already gone. I told you that when we got WrestlePalooza. I told
you that too.
I don't want to believe that. I can't.
I don't want to either.
Terrible. That's terrible.
Brothers, you know why I believe it now? Because we get the weekly shows, and we don't treat them right, so they're gonna go over there so they can get treated well and add another zero.
Yeah, and listen to me. They always gonna
every
add another
international audience overshows us because guess what? They don't care what it is.
Yep.
They ain't gonna keep giving that energy, and we just get the weekly shows.
It's like a new rap artist in Europe. Doesn't matter what it is, it's gonna sell out.
All I heard is that Brian Waters, he liked Triple H's booking. That's all I heard.
I mean, I heard that too, though. That's kind of what I heard a little bit.
What you liked was Kenny Dykstra. You liked.
Oh, here he goes.
Jason Jordan, Tyson Kidd. You liked Adam Pearce production. That's what you heard.
Don't forget Nick Aldis. King.
Oh, I love Nick Aldis.
Helms.
Yeah, and Helms too. You know, he no ball. You saw he put Chelsea Green over. He no ball.
He did.
You know, somebody need to put Michael Hayes out in the pasture.
I was about to say something, but I'm gonna chill. Yeah.
Okay. All right. How does everybody else feel about the Rumble?
So I'm gonna say this about the Rumble. I'm scared to go back and rewatch it because it was so good as a fan. And let me clean up that statement. The beginning and the end was so good as a fan. The middle I could have did without. I could have did without the WWE Championship match, and I could have did without the AJ match. And I'm saying that because I watched both Rumbles and think I finally understand that we are out of that. Okay, you gotta have these surprises. You gotta have these surprises. You gotta have this. No, the surprise was the stories within the Rumble. I felt sad for Royce Keys. Yeah, I feel sad for Royce Keys that he.
He's
we
out
are
here.
now expecting technical difficulties.
Oh, man,
that's actually something I was going to bring up.
Go ahead, brother guy.
Like, what's the? Oh, is he back? Go ahead,
brother guy. Yeah, you. The last time we heard you say was Royce Keys.
He's not here.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, brother. You.
No, I was just going to actually bring that up when he said, what I wanted y'all to break down the difference between the booking of the Royal Rumble between Vince McMahon and Triple H and the element of surprise. But he already tapped into it a little bit. I mean, I want him to continue if he's back. You back? No, he's not back.
He's not back.
You sound like Mickey Mouse in my ear.
No, you back? Me? Yeah, we good. You good.
We can hear you. You may not be able to hear yourself, but I don't think he can hear us. But it's fine. But I think to your point, brother Hugh, when you bring up the idea or the point of, hey, what's the difference as far as the booking? To me, it's the same thing I've always said. And Brian, as you jump in at any point, I've always said the same thing when it comes to Triple H and Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon was always he's a child of the Carney generation. We're here he comes from a live event business. Pro wrestling was you made your money in the live event space. We put on shows. Hogan was the biggest superstar in all of professional wrestling without a weekly television show, right? They ran all their superstar spots at Madison Square Garden, which would have been technically weekly pay-per-views, right? They were recorded, but they were just live event shows. So he comes from, hey, let's perform this moment. Let's give this audience in this moment everything we got, and then we'll figure out rest tomorrow. To me, that was always Vince McMahon's approach, and it was always fun for us, but to me, at some point, it hit a it works in some settings, but it doesn't work in every setting, right? Versus Triple H's intent of saying, let's make sure this all connects. Let's not jump at the moment right now. Let's think about the moment after tomorrow and the day after that, because that's always the proverbial question afterwards. What now? I heard Bruce Pritchard talk about that so much of, hey, yes, we can do this, but what now? You watch WWE season 2 Unreal, and Road Dogg has since then stepped down from being the head of creative, because same thing, his frustration of, I have an idea now, but I don't know how to connect it and keep going. It's a difficult process to do, which seems to be what Triple H seems to focus on. Like, look, let's not get caught up in this moment right now, but let's make sure that we're winding up stories. Let's add new stories, and let's tell these stories in the ring. It's the storytelling to me that the long-term storytelling that seems to me to be Triple H's kind of MO, versus, hey, let's use this Rumble for something important. Let's not just give the fans what they want now. Let's not give them these moments. Let's build on what we're already building and use this as a platform to do it, rather than let's just give this live audience the best show we got because this is what they're expecting.
Yeah, I wanted one of y'all to clear that up for the fans or for the followers,
Sure.
because you know, we heard chants of Vince McMahon and Saudi, and I'm not sure if they really understood what you broke down as far as Triple H's booking of the Rumble.
Yeah,
they were expecting that element of like that, the Vince McMahon element of surprise. The old school wrestlers, the legends, the big names coming out. So I just wanted one of you guys to break that down for the people real quick. Sure.
And and the crazy part is, brother Hugh, I don't blame them for thinking that. Now, there's two reasons why that's probably irrelevant now. And it goes back to one of the comments you just made previously. On one hand, it used to be, well, Saudi's like, well, shoot, this is the one time we get you guys here. Give us your all, right? But with the way things are going, where there's a kind of a permanent relationship with Saudi Arabia, it's not probably going to be a one-time thing. You guys are going back for WrestleMania the following year. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, well, if it's one thing if it's like, hey, this is the one time we get you guys a year, but it sounds like, hey, this is going to be kind of a continual thing. So maybe they weren't looking for like, hey, we don't have to keep doing this for this audience because we're going to be here quite often. There's always these rumors. We've been making jokes about, hey, kiss these United States big pay-per-views goodbye, or these big PLEs goodbye, because it looks like this is probably going to be something that's going to go up. Oh Lord,
they have, but
it's going to be
he's on an airplane.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like he's an airplane. So that's pretty much the biggest difference, But like I said, that's on one hand, I get it. Hey, this is the one time you're here, but if this is a working partnership, maybe this is not as a special of a moment as we kind of perceive it to be as American fans, because we're watching from a distance. But it's like, hey, if Saudi seems to be a destination for WWE going forward, you don't have to do that as much. So,
right.
Just something to think about. What do you think about the Royal Rumble, brother? That was a very, you're starting this off very astute. First of all, you look very conservative, by the way.
Thank you, appreciate it.
First of all, you look smooth, but I'm bothered by how, like, I can't even congratulate you for how smooth you look. Is because of why you're dressed this way in the first place. It's already bothering me, and I feel bad for wearing a black shirt. Like, if I'd have known you were gonna pull it off, nobody saw you on camera before the start. I'm sorry, I don't mean to derail this, but it's like, if I'd have known that, I'd have put on a bright shirt on purpose. But now you're in a hot seat. I want to know what you thought about the Royal Rumble, because, matter of fact, I'm going to put you on blast. So you brought this on yourself. Brother, you had some choice comments about the Rumble. I don't know if you were catching it and moving like I was, because I was on the move as I was watching it. But all I know is, in the group text, we got a comment. I'm not going to say what it is because that's our personal business, but you...
I didn't say what it is. It was whack. That's what I said.
Yeah. You said you weren't as impressed. And I was like, are you sure you watched the Rumble? And I purposely didn't antagonize you, because I said, I'm just going to save it for the show. And I was going to be polite about it, but you came here dressed in all black like you for a funeral. You mentioned AJ Styles, and it's a little sensitive for me. But I need to know, brother, tell the people, why did you feel like this year's Rumble was whack? We always have different perspectives. So I'm curious to hear why this is what you were thinking. Now, hold on, first of all, I'm sorry. Did you go back and watch it again?
I did.
Okay, so you did go back and watch it again.
And you still feel that it was
not at all.
Okay. All right. Well, tell us. Okay. So now people are caught up. They know why we're having this conversation. They know why we're here. Brother Hugh, talk to the people. How'd you feel about the Royal Rumble?
Well, what I do is when it comes to the PLEs, I usually go back and watch them at least twice.
Yes.
One time is just a regular fan, you know, and then the second time as, you know, a fan of superior intellect. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying?
Glasses on. Yep.
Exactly. So the first time, you know, all the feelings included, I'm like, okay, all right. The women's rumble started off kind of slow. I found myself not invested the majority of the time. And then when Nikki and Brie came out, I was like, oh my God, okay, I'm done. But Liv won. So I'm happy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Liv won.
He said, oh my God, I can't. I'm done.
Last showed out. Kiana showed out. And I was happy. Okay, I was cool with that part of it. The first thing
this week.
Exactly, there we go. The first thing that pissed me off, honestly, while watching it, was the setup of the stadium with the lights and the seats.
Talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Because it looked like there was nobody there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It was packed. It was a full house, but it looked like it was nobody there. So that kept pissing me off because every time they changed the camera angle, I'm like, look at all that space back there.
Bro, I kept saying the same thing. I was like, wait a minute, am I tripping? Like first I see people there and then they're not there. I thought people were getting offended because there was women in the ring. I'm not trying to be. I don't know the culture. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But yeah, I got irritated by that. The two singles matches didn't really have a problem with it. As far as the men's Royal Rumble, all right, let me start off as me as the regular fan.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get why. I got why Mr. Iguana and La Parker were there, but as a fan, I'm like, I don't want to see them. We got a Finn Balor. We got a Aleister Black.
Aleister Black, yeah. Those are the two notable names.
I'm not sure if he's still injured. You know,
he was there though. They said he was there.
Exactly. So we have other people to put in that position. You could have even put Joe Hendry over there. They know Joe Hendry. And I'm gonna pick on Hobbs for a second because
wait a second.
My beef is not with him specifically. My beef is with WWE booking him in Saudi Arabia at the Royal Rumble. Because I kind of felt bad because he got no pop whatsoever. Nothing. Nobody knows who he is. I don't think Saudi even knows what AEW is, to be honest. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So it didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense to me to bring him in at the Royal Rumble at first, right? But because I wanted him to get that pop because we know how Hobbs gets down, you know?
Yeah.
But
indeed, he's overall, a powerhouse. You see what I did there?
Yeah. But I mean, those are the couple of little things that I didn't, you know, the flow was kind of off to me at first, but then, like I said, I had to go back and rewatch it because I told y'all that. I made my comment and I was like, look, let me go back and rewatch it. It makes sense. The women's match still started off kind of slow to me until it got up until about where Becky was.
Yes.
Then you started getting your storylines formulating. You know, and then you started seeing your stars, your Kiana James, your Last Legends showing out, the younger stars.
Yes.
JC Jane, she did well. All your NXT's call-ups and whatnot, Kalani Joe, they did pretty well.
Yeah.
Plus, Liv Morgan won. That's who I picked to win. Anyway, once again, the singles match, they were good. They were great. When it came to the men's match, I was like, all right, we started off hot.
The men's Royal Rumble match, right?
The men's Royal Rumble match.
Okay.
It started off hot. What you say?
Jeez. Don't answer him. He's talking about who won. Don't respond to him. Keep going, brother. You're cooking.
It started off hot. I was like, okay, all right. We talk about the element of surprise. Triple H said it before. He was like, yeah, we waiting on big surprises, this, that, whatever. We got our big surprise. The big surprise started off at the number 2 entrance.
Yes.
Bron Breakker got taken out, right? Oba came in. I was expecting him to do what he did. Go on a nice little streak, show out, face off with Brock Lesnar. I wasn't sure if he was going to get thrown out by Brock Lesnar, but he did. It makes sense. You know, it was a nice pace to it. You could tell the different stories that were being portrayed at that point in time.
Yes.
You know, because you can now see, you can foreshadow these different stories for WrestleMania or whatever. Exactly. So, and I definitely like the spot where Roman Reigns smacked Jey Uso. That was hilarious. That was hilarious.
Because it all reminds us of being in living rooms with our cousins and brothers and stuff like that in those moments.
Exactly. But yeah, just to go back, I said something about Mr. Iguana. I said something about La Parker. I was like, okay. I still didn't really want them there, but I get it, especially with Mr. Iguana, because
Yeah.
he's went viral. He's huge, and plus they want to introduce them to the AAA guys, the top guys in AAA.
Winding down.
This conversation is going to be really, really good, by the way, because you're hitting all the points as we transition, brother. I'm telling you, you're setting it up. I mean, you're throwing oops left and right, D Wade. But go ahead.
So it makes sense.
Good conversation.
And then the same thing with Powerhouse Hobbs. Like I said, I'd rather for him to have had that pop in the States because they know who he is. But I'm glad he was there. He did what he had to do. He showed that he's a potential main event player, and I was happy for him. You know, so like, and at the end of the day,
about him though,
what's that?
The broad picture. You can say your two big AEW homegrown stars
Right there
debuted at the Royal Rumble.
Definitely did.
Yep.
Jade
and
Powerhouse. So it's more about him making the debut at the Rumble. Because the pop is coming on SmackDown.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I love that Titantron transition.
Wasn't that smooth?
You know? That was smooth.
Yeah, like
that was smooth.
I hate, and I said this on one of the shows this week. For the love of all things blue, I get so sick of
have a blue background.
I just get so sick of the trademark talk.
You know
what I mean?
Yeah.
Just let it happen. Let me watch it happen on TV. I get certain things we can't avoid. There's a thing called the internet. So, you may hear things. But trademarks, who in the world is that bored? They sitting on the trademark website all day.
Yeah.
It's like the dummy that tried to trade in his girlfriend at GameStop. Yes, that really happened. Check out this week's episode of Breaking Through Glass Ceilings.
Oh, my God.
Published.
Wow.
I'm gonna watch
the more
that.
you know. The more you know.
Yeah. And it's just like, there's something wrong with people. Like, as my brother Justin would say, go outside and touch grass. So there's watching trademarks all day. Like, come on.
Right.
Like,
Unnecessary.
imagine just like back in the day, like even like just certain things, like, certain things you just don't care.
Yeah. That's,
Yeah.
But I did want to say too, my bad.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. Let
When
it rip.
AJ came
You've been
out-
sizzling.
When AJ came out, I already knew what was going down. You could see it all over his face. We talk about it all the time. Like, look, man, certain wrestlers come out, big match, we can tell like what's going to go down. I saw his face. I immediately turned to my homeboys I was watching it with, and they looked back at me. It was like, oh my gosh,
it's going
to happen. It's going to happen, man. But yeah, overall, like I said, I changed my perspective on it, and it was a pretty good PLE.
High School Crush just came on my TV too.
Oh Lord.
Terry Runnels.
It's Terry Runnels.
Terry was a thing, boy. Terry, hey, boy.
Brother, you hit on all the valuable points. This is why I'm glad that you had a chance to kind of get all that out, because it's like you hit on a lot of the valuable points of the Royal Rumble, and it's going to take the conversation elsewhere. This is going to be like, this is it's the perfect transition into taking this the next step into what we have entitled Superior Wrestling Intellect. So let's start at the top. And I don't mean to be, this is probably going to be a little bit of a longer show. It's just the way it's going to pan out, but we'll deal with it. Yep. Brian Nates, you want to talk about Roman Reigns? Just deal with it. So here's the thing. Let's talk about the Royal Rumble itself. You mentioned some things and some surprises. Has business gotten in the way of what we're used to when it comes to the WWE Royal Rumble format? So, for instance, WWE has a partnership with AAA. So there's obligations that's there. Hey, we got to help get this over. We got to get this company over, because it's kind of almost a developmental territory for WWE. Not saying AAA is developmental for that, but you know what I mean. It's another space. It's old school, the same way ECW kind of operated for WWE in the past, the same way Memphis operated for WWE in the past. There's these partnerships where it's like, hey, we're in conjunction, we're in business with each other. So one of their most popular stars that could potentially be a popular star for the WWE, Mr. Iguana, right? He shows up because they said he's already a big merchandise seller. So that's his role. Like, hey, this guy works. We can sell a bunch of stuffed iguanas. That works out, right? And La Parka is a legendary character that's owned by AAA. So that's a character that stays with the company. Most people that may not be familiar with that, we all knew La Parka from The first time we saw him in WCW, and in that version of La Parker still kind of does this thing as LA Park, because he doesn't own the rights to the La Parker character, which is they always bring this character back to life. And I remember when I first saw him, I said, this new La Parker is pretty athletic. I said, but he doesn't dance like everybody knows. The original Parker always dances. He's a little funny dance. And he's do a little take his chair and do a little guitar string to it. And I said, man, depending on how he dances is going to determine whether I like La Parker. But we obviously know AAA partnership, right? And then you have someone like a Powerhouse Hobbs kind of making his debut in the Royal Rumble, like Brian H said, because it's the Rumble. It's like, it's not about necessarily his debut. It's about his debut at the Rumble. And because it happened to be in Saudi, sure, they may not have been as familiar with him, which is why they probably, in my opinion, they put up Powerhouse Hobbs at first and then shattered. He became Royce Keys. And I was like, okay, cool. But do we find ourselves saying that we are prioritizing business over the original format for the sake of business? Or is it just, hey, this is just the natural direction of where we're going, and that has nothing to do with it? What's everybody thinking as far as that? See, I got deep on you early.
Yeah, I think it's the natural business. I think it's the natural way things are just shifting.
Yeah, I would say so.
What I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't expecting you guys to say that, to be honest.
But because I think I understand, I do, I understand things got to evolve, but it's kind of like Royal Rumble is also sacred. So the more you can have, like, I guess to say less outsidery in it, the more you could kind of protect it and protect your stars. But to me, like old school stuff, I always loved when the Rumble didn't include champions. And, You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to see the Intercontinental Champion. I don't want to see tag team champions in there, honestly. I mean, I know sometimes you do, but for the most part, I just like it that way. So, like, I wasn't bothered that there was no Mello. Obviously, Dom was hurt, because I'm like, they already champions. I hate it when somebody would wrestle for the world title and then come back out there in the match. But that felt like at that time, the way the business was, just felt like the roster was thinner. So you had to do that. So I think also we got, with AEW being around and snatching up, like they have a deep roster. So there's a lack of potential surprises that could be like, one of my favorite top indie people coming in for a spot, So I just think that, the way the business is, you don't really need it. And I mean, you also have a very deep developmental system all the way down to Evolve. And then even with the AAA, like Brother Hugh said, introducing those people, and I think like Mr. Iguana, even with him, I think that's probably like the last. You try to squeeze as much out of that juice as possible because he was one of the few people that you remember when the shirts came out, they were all basic merch. It's just like their logo, AAA, WWE sign on the back. That was it. So now, you got him, you got La Parker and whatnot. But I think it is good for business. But I just think it's the slowly evolution of the business.
Okay.
I think that you got to think about social media too, with social media being around.
Okay.
And basically giving away everything.
Okay.
You have to find more creative ways to keep the crowd invested. So with this type of booking of the Royal Rumble, more storyline based, like you just it just makes sense because it flows with the evolution of the industry at this point in time.
You talking about
what's going on now.
Real quick, I like what you're saying. You talking about as far as social media ruining it? Are you talking about just like surprise entries or potentials?
Once again, like I said from before, we're so acclimated to what we used to have, right?
Yeah.
And then once again, we're getting surprises. First thing you think about as a wrestling fan, as an average wrestling fan, 9 times out of 10 is, look, we're going to get this person. We're going to get Jericho. We're going to get whoever, Paige. We're going to get this person, right? But what I'm saying is, so like with social media, now you have all of these rumors being spread. It kind of takes away from you enjoying the product because now you're like, oh, okay, all right. Jericho is pretty much going to come in. You know what I'm saying? So like, what if Jericho actually came in now? You already knew. Like, I like to be surprised.
Sure.
I like to be shocked. I like to
That's
feel
the fun
like, exactly. Yeah. So like, as far as social media and that, aspect of it, I'm like, all right, cool. They give away a lot, and it's great that the production team or creative, they're being a little bit more creative and finding other ways to give us those moments, give us those shock factors.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
No, that makes sense. It's just.
I got a question.
No, go ahead. Let it rip.
Is the Royal Rumble played out for at this point? And the reason why I ask, we bring up old stuff, right? And you said I'll go back to the 2000s, but let's go back to like 90, 92, 93. The way Vinnie Mac, Gorilla Monsoon, Bobby the Brain Heenan, the way everything was presented, even going back to like WCW World War III 1995, it made it feel like anybody could win, right? The way it was broadcasted. Now,
yeah.
Also understanding I'm a child that's just fully embraced in
whatever they give you. Sure, yep.
But
the good old days.
Now, not only are we smarter, but the children are smarter. Mm-hmm. So it's like, is the idea of 30 men entering, like, is it kind of like played out and now it's just, because it feels like it's like, all right, you get older, you're like, all right, realistically, only 5 people, maybe 10 people can win. Mm-hmm. So I was just thinking as Brother Hugh was breaking it down.
So that's what I was trying to get to for the, I think the beauty of this Rumble, we didn't have wasted entrance. We had everything was a purpose. And when you look at the Rumble now, like to realness point about it being a business standpoint, I hated the 2 AAA entrants, but I understood it because a few years ago we would have had the Alpha Academy in those spots. We would have had, let's call it what it is, the New Day in those spots, knowing good and goddamn well they're not going to win, but it would have been a wasted entrance, and we would have been saying, well, where's the surprise? Now with the Rumble, the surprise is who's coming at what number, because you have 5 different shows to feed from, and who's coming for these 30 spots. That's probably why I enjoyed it more now, because think about it, when certain people showed up in the past, like look at the first Women's Rumble, they had to call all the old divas back because they didn't have enough.
That was, yeah.
Now we're at the point we're like, dang, it didn't have this. We can name off names who didn't make the Rumble, and we're still okay with it because we got a good Rumble. Like there was a list of male and female performers that didn't even make it into it. Like think about it, we're not even thinking about the fact that Jey Uso wasn't in the Rumble. Jimmy was. Oh no, I'm sorry, I said it backwards. Jay was in it, but Jimmy wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't. Yeah. 2 years ago, we would have had all the MFTs in there, but now it's a point where it's like everything is purposeful, and that's the surprise of it, and that's the new way to Rumble, and that's why I'm scared to rewatch it because it might ruin it. And I get the AAA and I get the Royce Keys, but I feel like it was wasted because that could have been more potential on a Monday night. That could have been more potential on a lead up to something. You know what I mean? Maybe have Mr. Iguana in a qualified match for Elimination Chamber, saying, oh, a AAA person is actually going to wrestle potentially for that. But I think the Rumble is going to keep evolving and keep us on our toes now from this point forward, because think about it, when y'all all watching and waiting for who's at what number, like, oh, who's the next? I felt more excitement about who's going to come out next this year versus any other year.
Yeah. And then it goes back to what you guys originally said, the first question, like, hey, what are we looking at? Are we looking at making good on good business deals? Hey, look what we're doing for AAA. We're giving 2 of your top stars a chance to be in a Rumble. That's big news for you guys. You know what I mean? Versus, we don't need to do this for them. So it's like, it's when you look at, to your point, Brian H., what you were saying, and incongruence to what Brother Guy was saying, it's like when we watched it early on as an early concept, the way it was booked wasn't so storyline based, but we weren't watching professional wrestling because it was a weekly TV show either. We didn't get to that point until we got to the mid 90s, right? We watched it because it was a live event show. Oh, wrestling is on. That's the prize. Not, okay, hey, what's going to happen on wrestling? We know wrestling's coming on, but if it ain't good or nothing happens, it was a failed venture. Versus Saturday morning, wrestling's on. Didn't matter who it was. Papa Shango versus Lex Luger. It didn't matter the matchups. It didn't need a storyline. It was wrestling. And that's what we watched it for. Just like people back in the day, they went to the wrestling matches, not, oh, Wahoo McDaniel's in town, let's go see him wrestle. It wasn't like, oh, no, what's the storyline? Now, why is Wahoo McDaniel and Ric Flair in the ring having this issue? What's the backstory? It doesn't make, where's this going to go? Like, that's not a question you had to answer. It was Wahoo McDaniel. It was Ric Flair. It didn't matter. It was, it's the matchup that we came to see. And it's similar to the Royal Rumble, like the way it was presented, a fresh concept where you put a bunch of your favorites in the ring. Let's see who's going to win. You know what I mean? And also the implications were different. It wasn't like, hey, look, this means that you're the one up next to main event. No, it was like, we don't know who's WrestleMania. It's going to be Hogan, Savage, DiBiase, Andre, whoever. You know what I mean? So it just, obviously, with the way things were before is now, it's like, hey, let's keep a concept as evolved as possible so it doesn't become outdated. But I told you, man, it's going to get heavy tonight. So let's get into some of the
just like
things.
the Warriors just traded Kuminga.
Oh,
okay. You surprised? You surprised?
I mean, no, it's just I just was expecting to the Hawks for Porzingis.
Y'all happy for DZ?
Do you mean DC or
I
DZ?
said that's what I said. I said DC.
Oh, I thought you said DZ.
I would say Discovery Zone's making a comeback.
Somebody
Nah,
said
nah,
Dizzy.
I don't know. It
Dolphins
depends.
in there.
If anybody can stay healthy, who knows? That might be something different. We should do a sports podcast if we
go
have
to
the
the
time.
game. Go high.
Yeah, I mean, ticket prices are probably gonna go up, so
Yeah,
you better
definitely
get
going up now.
nosebleeds now. Get the $30 tickets.
Family discount.
There you go.
Hey, that's right. That's right.
Tell Brad to give us a call.
Mhm.
So let's talk about some of the key components, because this is not your average pro wrestling conversation. So we've already started off heavy and in terms of how we're looking at the Royal Rumble. So let's move on to some of the performances and the things that we saw that kind of answers the question of why the evolution of what the Royal Rumble that we're watching now. I wasn't expecting the show to be this deep. Why we're watching it now is so different than what it was, and why we enjoyed it in this aspect, just like we did in other aspects previously. So it's like, once the Royal Rumble is done, back in the day, it was just done. Your winner, you had your moments, it's moved on, versus now it's like we can go back and look at the Rumble and we can notice certain things about, hey, this was the beginning of this started that, so on and so forth. But let's talk about Oba Femi.
Waters.
Yeah, of course. Let's talk about Oba Femi. First of all, let me ask this question first. Was anybody surprised, or did anybody expect that this year this was going to be his spot? Now, let me let you know what spot I'm referring to. There's a spot in the Royal Rumble that establishes from the beginning, this person's going to go the distance. This is the one you need to keep your eye on. This is the one that's going to set the tone going forward. In years past, it was a guy like Kane. A couple years ago, it was Gunther. A couple years ago, it was Brock Lesnar. Right? This year, it was Oba Femi. To me, it said this looked like a really good debut for him to say, hey, let's start to establish who he is. And he gets a crack at everybody. We don't got to do 10 squash matches like Goldberg just to get him going. We can let him set the tone in the Rumble early. But was anybody surprised that he had this spot in this Royal Rumble, and he had the performance that he did? Because I never in my mind said, okay, Oba Femi is going to come in automatically and be world champion. My mind has completely changed now. I'm like, oh, I think they kind of have to now. They got to strike while the iron is hot. But how you guys feel? You guys surprised that Oba Femi had that particular role in this year's Royal Rumble? He had a dominant role. And like I said, I much respect to the veterans, the Matt Cardonas, the Rusevs, the guys that really, really, really made him look strong in this position. But did you guys see this coming this early?
About pro wrestling.
What's that?
Is when people get together and they know, oh, this guy gonna make us some big money.
Well,
you know, yeah. I was sitting back listening to the book about Titan sinking, and it's about the era I love, the new generation era, right? And you know, they talk about the time when Shawn Michaels was the guy, and as Stone Cold is coming, you don't see it, right?
No,
but once they got to the point they knew, it's like, all right, let's kind of hitch our wagon on to him. You want to be on that card. Oba Femi is that guy. And I realized this.
That's high praise.
When he stood toe-to-toe with Cody. Now, y'all know, I like to get on my man Cody Rhodes, right?
Raheem. It's Black History Month. Watch what you say.
I'm not calling the Cuban man Raheem.
That's disrespectful.
He's a good guy.
You know who his father is?
That's his daddy.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's his daddy. You
know.
Oh,
but you call him Cuban because his mama. But you're not gonna give him.
That's his heritage.
Okay, Dusty was 70s black. You know this. You heard what Mike Tyson said.
Yeah, what Mike Tyson said? Yeah, he did. But
If
anyway.
70s black is like 100% black.
100%, yes.
He was as close as we
100%
got.
black.
But
Not
but
community.
He was a black man.
Cody also married an Oreo cookie. But the thing is,
That's
I like
crazy work.
Oreos.
That's crazy work.
respectfully,
Tastes wonderful. Milk.
the thing about Cody, right?
Whole milk or
Cody saw the money,
2%.
and when you watch them two at Saturday night's main event,
Yes.
right? Because Cody understands his responsibility as QB1 of the Pro Bowl.
that's crazy.
There you go.
Which
bro.
means
Yes,
he's
I
just
get
playing
it.
flag football.
No.
As QB1 of the Pro Bowl, he understands, all right, these are the certain people I got to get going. And you saw that. You know, it was a great match. He gave Oba a lot. Oba gave him a lot. And it was like, okay, we're going to give them a preview. And with that crowd, 'cause that wasn't a traditional wrestling crowd. Remember, people flew to D.C. When the last time we see D.C. as a destination place? Because it sure ain't with the sports
the NBA
teams.
trade deadline.
Yeah, I like how Atlanta put that out there. We all know that's false, that Trey Young wanted to come there. But when you look at that crowd getting behind him and introducing him to that crowd, you had to follow up with this. And it's like, you know, the spots you called, it's kind of like, you know, Bruce Pritchard likes to say the diesel spot. And we associate the diesel spot as all throwing people out constantly because that's what he did.
Okay, excellent. See, I didn't know that
And-
was the name for it.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
you know.
good. See, this is education.
I can't help it, man. I do research this all day, every day.
Hold
Watch
on,
tons
hold
of documentaries.
You ain't lying.
Well, you
And,
see the size of his head. It's like that for a reason.
See, I ain't say all that. See,
So when he did the diesel spot, most of the time people think because the way it's presented that there's just when you just come in and just start throwing people out and you clear in the ring, right? Kind of like the reset. But the way my brother, the real Dwayne Allen, broke it down,
it's me.
what happened after that first diesel spot? That was
know.
January,
What
right?
happened? Yep.
November, Madison Square Garden.
Oh yeah. Took
Beat
out
Bob
Buddy.
Backlund
Took out
in less
Buddy.
than 10 seconds. That's how you establish somebody.
Oh,
right?
okay. I see the connection with you. I see what you're doing, Brian H.
Gunther,
Ah, geez, don't bring him up.
what did he do after the diesel spot?
Yep.
Put on a 5-star banger with Drew McIntyre and Sheamus at WrestleMania 39.
He did. Yes, he did.
So we saw this, and that led to a 660-plus day reign for Gunther as the champion.
Dominant.
So, well, it was in the middle, I should say. So when you look at all that's happening right there, and then you look at a guy like Oba Femi, I expect big things for him next year around this time.
Okay. That was good. Okay.
Makes sense.
No, that was that makes a lot of sense actually. I'm sorry. I got to ponder on that for a second. Because when you put it that way, I'm like, okay, you know what? You're right. And this is we always talk about this on this show. It's archetypes, right? And like I said, a comment like the diesel spot is not something I was familiar with when it comes to Bruce Pritchard naming what that position is. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So that's the name for it. But you're absolutely right. It's usually.
Let's break this down real quick.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure people was wondering, well, the deal with Bron Breakker, that's how you protect him.
Exactly.
You get rid of him because you have a bigger story to tell because you've already got this guy. We know he's going to be the next star. Why throw these two at it if it's not going to lead to nothing? I called this Royal Rumble 2024, right?
Yep.
Jey Uso's climbing the ranks, but he hit this pit stop because he lost. Why did he lose? Caused by his brother, right? We knew they wanted to wrestle each other. I said, "What?" I said, "That's the opener for the Rumble. Those two in the ring."
You sure enough.
Remember
What happened in Tampa?
Yep.
Yeah. Remember when we got because like Triple H tells the stories, but he got the blueprint from Vinnie Mac because even
He ain't trying
sometimes
to get this
Vince
man any credit.
throw stuff. No, like he
At
got
all.
it as far as telling the stories in the Rumble.
matter.
Excuse me, he get it from Pat Patterson, right?
Oh, see how he did that?
Right,
The game, but it's the game within the game, and when you go back, like
What's
when
Triple
you
H's
go
name?
back and watch,
right.
huh?
That's Triple
I
H's
definitely
name.
thought he was game.
The game?
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
But when you go back and watch old Royal Rumbles, hindsight 2020, you'll start to see it like they've been doing this all these years. Sometimes it's
Yeah,
those little stories, you know.
Yep.
Maven had a small program with the Undertaker where he's able to make some money just from that drop kick.
That's what
so
he's known
then-
for, to be honest with you.
Exactly. Tough
Entire
enough in the
career.
drop kick.
There you go.
You know?
Stupid pants with an M on it. Sorry.
Right.
Got triggered a little bit. Go ahead.
And somehow this
triggered.
dude then got over and got like a top 20 podcast.
Hey,
Having
man.
everybody
It's-
got darn microphones.
It's pretty cool, bro.
But
But
he's exposing. He's pulling back the curtain. He's
you
exposing the
look
business.
at with Bron Breakker, it was like it was genius because if he goes out there, then it's like, all right, well, we know Bron and Oba not leading to nothing right now, but now you giving the thing about Bron Breakker was I was always waiting.
My bad. I'm laughing at the way he's laying there.
I
Like,
It's funny.
As soon as he laughed, I looked down. I said, I know it looked up, and I looked like, okay, I knew
It's
what
the
you were laughing at.
perfect screenshot. But I
But this
was
is Braun
sitting
Breaker's
there.
side quest. This is his side quest.
I
to
was
give you
waiting.
attention to
I was
that.
waiting for him to give me something to get me invested over these years.
You talking about-
I mean,
you
over
talking
this
about
past few months.
Braun, right?
Breakker.
Yes.
Like, remember I said they put him in the match with Punk, and it's like, okay, make a break. You
I don't think he looked good in the match.
I thought the same thing. I never
my
went
God.
back and rewatched it, and I said, okay, maybe I'm seeing it from a different angle. But then you said, nope, I wasn't tripping.
No, I wasn't. I didn't see like, oh, he's up next. Like this works well.
I said,
Yeah,
his
so
side
now
quest, and
he
this is-
gotta
I said
have
it. This
this
is his side
beef
quest.
There you go.
with Adam Pearce.
Yeah.
And now it gives you old school. What do we love? Austin McMahon. Now, nothing's ever going to be Austin McMahon, but it's always good to have a GM versus, a wrestler versus an authority figure. There's always a place for that in pro wrestling. We've seen that over the course with Vader and Gorilla Monsoon, NWO and Eric Bischoff before they brought him aboard.
Yep.
You see it.
Yeah. And I think as we transition to that, this is one of the things that I say about Bron Breakker. I agree with you 1000%. And to me, when his feud with now Adam Pearce, to me, I love this version. To me, this is one of his strong suits, right? He shows his range when he's having these confrontational moments, right? And because there's this cat and mouse game now, you buy yourself some time. You don't have to rush into pushing Breakker to the point where, oh, he's up next. We know he's up next. Give him the belt. It's like, no, we don't have to go there. We gave him a shot. We put him in the conversation so that people recognize, okay, he does belong here. So we're not taking him away. He's not ready right now. But like Brother Guy said, these side quests, we have to keep people reinvested in him, even if it's going to be a bad guy. We got to really make people hate this dude. So by the time he does get there, it's no different than what happened in NXT. Right, because when he
Look
popped
at
up on the
Damian
scene,
Priest.
yeah,
Look
like
at the Damian Priest thing. He had a side quest.
when guys get there, it's like, okay, we know you belong here, but we still have work to do. And I think that's what this is for Bron Breakker. But I think it's good for him because I think, like I said, it's one of his strong suits. That's what he does well. But it brings us to another $1 million question, fellas. What's going on here? We talk about this. Oba Femi, his performance was in his diesel spot, did a magnificent job. But the number 2 spot was supposed to be Bron Breakker. We got to figure out what's going on because now we have another masked man. We have another gentleman in all black, similar to the way brother he was dressed, but not as dapper and debonair, who took out Bron Breakker. And there is more conspiracy into the mix. So we have another curb stomp. We have another individual dressed in black. Paul Heyman is up in arms. He's accusing Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins says he was not there. He was home with his daughter. But something's going on here. Adam Pearce says he has nothing to do with it, but the last person who was wearing all black that curb stomped somebody was Austin Theory. Fellas, there's been conversations going around the world. Who is the man in all black? Now, this person looks rather tall. They look rather skinny, not very jacked. What's going on?
Realness.
Who
Realness.
took out Bron Breakker? Yes, brother guy.
Just let Hugh explain it because Hugh has a great theory behind this.
Brother Hugh, what you got? So apparently, brother Hugh, you have a theory behind this, and you might have mentioned this before. Tell the world what are you thinking when it comes to who is this new master sailor? Because the last person that was a master sailor ended up joining the Vision, but this person seems to take out the leader of the Vision. What are we thinking? What's going on?
Oh, well, initially, what I thought was I was looking at the mannerisms and whatnot, and like you said, the height, the build of the person, he looks very similar to Logan Paul.
Okay.
If you think about it, I know people are probably saying, "Well, he's with the Vision. Why would he do it? This, that, whatever, whatever." Logan Paul's character is I have to be that guy, no matter what.
I mean, he did debut with the Miz. We can't forget that. Miz was his first real mentor.
Yeah. But he still ended up being the guy, right? They ended up clashing. So I want to be that guy. So initially what I thought was, look, I think I remember Bron when he first joined the Vision, Bron wasn't really, he was kind of skeptical of Logan Paul and where, seeing where his head was and whatnot. So he wasn't really down with the whole Logan Paul joining at first. And then Logan had to prove himself. True. But my whole thing was, it was a Raw. I can't remember when it actually was right after the Masked Man came out at I believe what PLE was it? Survivor Series.
Yep.
Right? It was that Raw. He was in the back in the locker room and he started saying something about the Masked Man, and he was leading on. To me, it seems like he was leading on that he knew more about the masked individual than what he wanted people to know. So like he was getting ready to slip up, but then he started talking to Paul Heyman and he kind of changed the subject real quick. So that's what caught me, and that kind of stayed in my head. So I was like, hold on, Logan knows something. He knows the person. And then I was like, that's what led me to Theory at that time, because I was like, all right, well, Logan Paul and Theory, they were tight at one point in time. That makes sense. And then you hear the rumors of Jake Paul may be the person, this, that, whatever.
Oh boy.
But I was saying, basically, Logan Paul wants to do his own thing. He wants to be his own guy. And he wants to be in the spotlight where Bron Breakker is potentially going to be. Wrestling for the not the WCW, wow, the World Heavyweight Championship, the WAC.
It's like breaking news.
That's initially what I came up with. But
Logan Paul supposed to fight CM Punk for the title before Breakker, and then they
at one point, I believe so.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of Division because I think there are 4 singles wrestlers that should be like fighting each other. Bronson Reed is an animal on his own. He was carving his own niche before he broke both his ankles. Bron Breakker is an animal on his own. Logan Paul, animal on his own. And Austin Theory is a young talent, an animal on his own. I was like, why are you guys together? You don't need each other. But I don't know. This is something that's going to take some further developing. That's a pretty decent theory from you, brother Hugh. No pun intended by saying theory. I'm not sure who it is because the individual does look kind of skinny, but they do look kind of tall. But we don't know what's going on. But
what about Grayson Waller?
I'm about to say,
Waller?
There's a rumor about Grayson Waller.
Yeah.
It makes sense. He's got history with Theory. I don't know. This is it's a fresh mystery. But the beauty of it all is that we get to get more depth from Bron Breakker, because this story is literally built around him, and I think that's the biggest thing. That's the most important thing you need to have. You need to have this, is because once again, we get to see what he does best. We get to see that range. We get to see that intensity. We get to see him, really get into it. So yeah, it's almost like a to be continued, man. But we talked about the rule. Go ahead, brother.
I was about to say it's gonna mess around and be somebody like Jericho.
Wow. Why would you do that?
You said it before.
You
said it before.
I mean, that's the reality of it, though. That could have been anybody just to fill that spot. You see what I'm saying? But they can reveal him as somebody else.
Yeah, that's also true. It's not the first time Jericho's done type of shenanigans. Remember he came out as he was dressed as Penta All In.
It's not Jericho, but yeah.
yeah, of course. But
that was great.
We had a couple of spotlights in the Royal Rumble. We're going to talk about the Royal Rumble winners because we got to leave some time to talk about this sort of the main event of our show was that Roman Reigns he's made his choice. He's made it clear who he wants to be. But we had some amazing performances in the Rumble. I was impressed with Royce Keys, man. Powerhouse Hobbs. When you look at, I'm gonna tell you right now, when you look at like even his stuff now, the behind the scenes stuff, the backstage things, how he talks, he has a tremendous story that I think nobody knows. And I know for a fact that WWE is going to definitely bring it to the forefront. That's one. He fits in too well. I love the fact that he came out there. I've he's somebody we've talked about previously. I was like, man, I'm telling you, I guess halfway through his AEW career, I saw him and I was like, he had this snarl, like this look. He makes this facial expression where you see like his mouthpiece, and I was like, okay, that right there is money. Just that something that's subtle, and people have spoken very highly about him. And it was funny because he was in a ring with Oba Femi, and they never faced off. And I was like, yeah, they don't want to give it to you too early. And then, Oba Femi had his face off with Brock Lesnar, which was good. And we got to move forward. But I just want to point out that, Royce Keys making his debut. He looked good. He looks like he fits in. I expect big things from him. I think something major is probably going to come from him. The reason Brother Hughes wearing all black, as usual. AJ Styles, he has officially lost the Gunta. Something I probably need to react to, and I'm sure that I will. But AJ Styles finally calling it a career. I'll go into I gotta stop saying so much. I'll go into detail about it a tad bit later. But I do believe that AJ Styles has finally decided to hang it up. He looked amazing in the ring as usual. He tells a story that like no one else can do. And with him deciding to hang it up, I do realize there's some shenanigans going on. There's a lot of rumors going on. A lot of people are like, okay, he's filing for this is your favorite thing, Brian, as you just talked about, is filing for trademarks and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, well, one, you got to remember how he had the what'd you say, brother? I'm sorry.
I was about to say he already had those, right?
Bingo. He had his name and that logo trademark before he came to WWE, which is why when he debuted in the Rumble, the trademark wasn't cleared yet. That's why he had that makeshift phenomenal one Royal Rumble gear when he first debuted, because his stuff wasn't cleared as far as trademarks. Same thing on Ring of Honor.
And Vince wanted to change his name, and he was like, "I got it tattooed on the side of me. You sure you want to do that?" And everybody knows who I am.
Yeah,
because he wanted to change his name.
When he first debuted on Ring of Honor television, he was wearing old gear because, once again, there's certain legality. He had the trademark, and I don't know if he had to give it up or license it to WWE. So, his WWE career is really over. So, it's his name. It's literally his name, the phenomenal AJ Styles, his trademark. Now, the reason I'm not going to go into detail about this, and because we gotta move forward, is because he is. I just noticed that he will be a guest on the "What's Your Story" with Stephanie McMahon. I mean, how fitting! That she is his first interview, and she's already teasing a preview of him. Her asking, "Hey, look, man, you about to put the gloves down, and you don't put them. You put them back on. What's going on?" So, of course, that's clickbait, and we'll find out more of the story about what's going on. But I do believe that AJ Styles is truly ready to retire. And I say that, here's my hints. I know everybody's speculating like he's going to have another year-long run and go, there's one more company he can go and do and put on dream matches and stuff like that, which I think would be absolutely phenomenal, pun intended. But the reality is, I really think he was tired, is because when AJ Styles sprained his ankle and he came back after that time off and he sprained it again, and I was like, I knew then he was done. But the Good Brothers, Anderson and Gallows, had convinced him, like, look, man, you're still at the top of your game. Don't walk away from this just yet. You know what I mean? Like, and I think he signed a new 3-year deal at the time or whatever it was. And I remember he stuck around long enough, and he's kind of made it clear, look, my boy's on here. I'm tired. I'm 46. I think AJ's 48 now. I could be wrong. And he's made it clear that he's done. He wants to leave at the top of his game. So I don't think there's any speculation to it. But man, did he not put on the masterpiece with Gunta? His career ended the same way I assumed John Cena was going to end, and maybe that's the reason why John Cena chose a different ending to his, because maybe this is something that AJ Styles decided to go with. But yeah, man, it was bittersweet because they cut a promo, and I thought AJ Styles had a chance when he said phenomenal farewell tour. I said, oh, wait a second, now he might be on something, but it turns out it didn't end up that way. But yeah,
to be honest with that, the one thing that I want to point out, I think that it ended this way so it wouldn't look like it was compared to John Cena's. So we wouldn't have to say, oh, WWE is doing another year-long storyline. And I think that's why they ended it that way and kind of felt like it was a big rush to get to this match
Right.
because you wanted to look like John Cena's. Because look how many people retired last year, but John Cena overshadowed all of those retirements because he was the biggest star.
Sure. And that, that was well deserved. Everybody's not going to get a John Cena like farewell tour. And if you look at what AJ has done over the last 6 months, or whatever the case may be, it makes sense why he was in random tag teams and having these random runs. It seems is because I think at this point we all knew he was winding down. But Liv Morgan wins the women's Royal Rumble. I called it.
Mhm.
I called it.
Well deserved.
One of the things that I highlighted was I kept saying like, "Hey man, Liv Morgan needs to pick up where she left off." Liv Morgan is just a star. She does things that are just beyond professional wrestling. It's beyond in the ring. It's just her interviews, her post matches, how she carries herself, the manipulative ways of doing things, how annoying she can be. I'm like, man, she's a 5'2" player, and her winning makes perfect sense. Like I said, to me, she picks up right where she left off. But how did you guys feel knowing that Liv is right back to where she was? You know, she was down for a little bit and now she's back.
I'm glad that she didn't say who she's fighting yet because after Monday, and then she said she's going to SmackDown. I think this is going to be that right before Elimination Chamber because the women get to fight at Elimination Chamber too, correct?
That I don't know. See, I don't think
Usually,
Yeah, so
but
I
the
think
way
that
they
she's
going, they could do a tag team.
right?
tag team
Right.
Elimination
That's
Chamber.
true.
Yeah, because now it's like I like the mystique that she can run the both shows and she can be on both shows. Because right now SmackDown needs a little help. Let's call it what it is. So I think it's great that you're gonna have that star be able to inject that energy and excitement to get us to WrestleMania. And whoever she chooses is going to be a banger of a match because she is the right person for this.
Oh yeah, she's absolutely amazing in all that she does, and she was amazing before she left. So it's like, okay, she's healthy, she's back, she's in the mix. And it's like you can almost pick up right where she left off before you get right into WrestleMania. All right,
She been doing this since when you think back to once she came back and after she got injured and she told Rhea she was gonna take everything from her. She hasn't missed a beat. Whether
No,
she's
not at all.
like sometimes people come back from injury, they gotta get that momentum back. But I would say her and Rhea Ripley are two people that they come back, fit like a glove. I expect to see her on NXT as well. Expect her to do the rounds.
just stir the pot.
Just to stir the pot. Like she's gonna do that. Spoiler alert.
Uh-oh.
We talked to her. So check out that interview tomorrow.
Spill the beans. Spill the beans.
yeah.
Spill the beans. Spill the beans.
So spoiler alert for the Wrestling people here. That'll drop tomorrow afternoon. One of the things she said was, "What if I wait till the wait a couple days before WrestleMania?" And I was like, "Yeah, just that would be hilarious." But that's Liv Morgan, like
Facts.
going around, because she still got. She tried to act like Raquel gave her instructions on Monday.
And she
But,
still
Liv is the one in charge.
A little bit.
She came out there,
Kinda.
and so, but it's like, yo, you wasn't supposed to be out there, but she was out there anyway. So I could see them things getting a little messy before she get to WrestleMania. She's gonna have a very interesting role, but
Shawn Michaels and Diesel.
Oh, yes,
Oh,
it'll
come
be. They're getting a match. Her and Roxanne, Perez, and her and they're gonna have a match with her down the line. That's coming. You already know the seeds has already been planted because she was too chummy with Roxanne. When she came back, and I was like, oh, y'all gonna be a tag team? Oh, okay. And then she's, oh yeah, go ahead because you got a title shot. You know how the Rumble goes. I was like,
Listen.
it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, let's address the elephant in the room. All right, fellas. It's been a year and a half.
Get my stretches in this week, man.
Now you listen to me. You
Remember,
got
I
plenty of
said
time
it.
now.
Roman is the one to win. I said if he did in LA Knight, but I was totally surprised they picked it. He picked who he wanted this early on. I thought that would drag on too, and it would be a who does he want? Because I really in my heart wanted Drew to make his life a living hell, but Him and CM Punk is on a different level. So I'm like, yep, okay, give it. What would he say? Give me what I want. They know
Yeah.
I wanted that more than I wanted him and Drew because Drew to me could do no wrong, and y'all
No.
know CM Punk can do all the wrong. So I was
And
like, ooh,
he has a reputation to do all the wrong too.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and he came at the right. I think that Roland's win was entering was the perfect time because it kept him away from certain people, but it
Sure.
made sure that you knew that he was the one to win. And why did him and Logan Paul? Is this like another year that Logan Paul is in the final four?
Keep trying to tell
He's a
y'all,
star,
Logan
man.
Paul is that dude.
He's
I
definitely that
keep
dude,
telling
bro.
people.
They like him
Ooh.
backstage.
Yeah.
I think they think that he's locked in now. Like yeah, he might be trying to like
He's them.
He said
He's
he's
them.
do
full
this like a
time.
little bit
So
full time now. So it's like, So he's like, we gonna go with this. So they might be can you imagine Logan Paul world champion at some point? Yes, he's
Oh, is
yes,
that?
I can.
everywhere.
Yes, I can. I can
Absolutely.
100%.
He just started
Look what he
wrestling
did with
like
the
2
U.S.
years
title.
ago. Yeah.
He scratched the surface with that, and he was everywhere.
As a
That man
part
took a
timer.
shower with the title,
Mm-hmm.
and
I knew he was
like,
gonna
come
be
on,
a problem the minute he took that photo of his WrestleMania gear, and I said,
Yeah.
okay, that's a star. Like I'm
yeah,
looking at a
it's
guy
real
that's a
gear.
star. Like he had legit, not a t-shirt and some cargos or some tennis shoes. Like
No, he
dude,
had
he had full blown
kick
gear.
pads.
He had pose. He had that $20,000 Charizard card, Pokemon card around his neck. It's
It was
probably not worth
Pikachu.
that anymore, but at the time it was. I was like, okay, he means business.
He-
But Roman Reigns, after 2 years running his mouth, talking trash, saying WWE creative is whack, it's been 2 years in no evolution. Man, we have great leadership, but god dang it, I got to come back and save this place. The fans are asking for it, and this guy was the biggest heel in all of professional wrestling, and now people are clamoring for this guy to come back and start trouble again. You know, we saw his matchup with Jey Uso in the ring, and you know he messing around when he popped his cousin, and it's like, and now Jey Uso is even like verbally going on online like, bro, you don't deserve my family. That's a family.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never going to go. I'm like, he's starting to, I don't know if you guys notice it, but he's starting to
I
drop
saw
these
it.
hints again. He's like, man, I'm never going against my family. Y'all don't deserve my family. We the only ones that, like, same thing with Roman. It's what we'll get into it with his promo with CM Punk. He's like, man, you don't get to speak on my family. Whatever issues we got, it plays out in front of y'all. That's our family business. That's our dynamic. And once again, there's this cultural stuff
Who
that
does
you
it
can't
sound
tap
like?
into.
Who
It's
does it sound
just,
like, realness?
I don't know, man. It's getting tricky.
Sound like somebody.
It sounds like old school bloodline stuff, but we're not getting into that right now.
I
But
mean, so y'all not going to address the fact that he got his inspiration from someone? Two
who
guys,
did he
actually.
Who did he get his inspiration from, brother Hugh? What are you referring to?
You know, two good-looking brothers that I know. You know, very good brothers. You know, mine, brother Realness and brother Brian H. Waters. You know, he said, "Look, I gave y'all time. I stepped away. You need somebody, you know, to come back and save us."
That's
You know,
exactly the promo
that's
we cut
that's
in
exactly what y'all
2017.
said.
That's literally what we said. We said, Brian H.,
Literally.
we gave you 4 years for you guys to figure this out, and you guys couldn't get it together. So now
You fumbled.
we
You know what I mean?
we got to come back and we got to deal with this. So Roman Reigns is back.
The tribal chief watches the wrestling round.
There it
No,
is.
it's obvious. He
100%.
clearly watches it. I mean, why wouldn't he?
While he's on the treadmill, while he's
yeah,
doing
no
his
doubt.
40 miles
Yeah.
a day.
So Roman Reigns wins, fellas. This is a big question because this is going to lead us into the next thing we got to talk about. We're going to close out is CM Punk. Roman Reigns did choose CM Punk, but what does this mean now that Roman Reigns has won the Royal Rumble? We know he's going to main event WrestleMania, but if Roman Reigns does win, and we all talked about this before, like, hey, this guy could win a World Heavyweight Championship and have another reign the same way he did with the WWE Championship. Knowing him, he might go after both of them all over again, but who knows? We're moving too fast. What does this mean now that Roman Reigns is back, that he's back in the WrestleMania main event? And I guess more importantly, we might as well just bunch them together. And he has challenged CM Punk. We'll get into that promo a little bit later, but
It's time
Brian,
to run it back.
what do you
see? I mean, CM Punk loses and then we get Roman Rock.
y'all are just skipping over CM Punk. We ain't even in WrestleMania yet. You guys
In
already
Saudi,
But
they're going to add
know
another
it's
zero just like they did this time for Roman winning the Rumble.
Dang,
You saw he
add
had
another
You
zero.
know it's
he's the
coming.
only person with a whole package.
I'm
trailer,
sure
a
he had
package.
I'm sure he had his own private jet. He didn't fly with the rest of them.
exactly.
Oh no, he got there when he got
but
ready.
The
I know-
thing
I
is
know-
about Roman.
I know how
He
much
going-
Cristiano Ronaldo makes. They got it over there. Go ahead.
Oh yeah.
You talk about, you know, what does this mean? This means it's time to run it back. It's time for the tribal chief. I'll give a shout out to my boy Brian Langford. He hit me up today, and I said, "Dog, you just stole what I was gonna say. I had in my notes section mentally." The thing is, Roman and the family been taking care of WWE, and the people not been appreciative.
You sound like Jay
So-
Uso right now.
Right.
Exactly. And I'm thinking that when Roman wins that belt, the menace that we thought he was going to get chasing it, but the family dictated him otherwise, we're going to get that menace again. And y'all thought it was something before. It's going to be 10 times worse because they're going to get the family back in line. The Usos already got the tag titles.
I knew something
And-
was up when that happened. It's starting to make sense now.
And as much as I was thinking, yeah, Jimmy and Jay want to run it back, maybe they will. I said, I don't think so much no more. But the thing about Roman, where you could tell he wasn't playing, last year he get in the Rumble, and him and Jay kind of just like tag teamed it up. You know, they spoke the same language because they was former world champ. Well, Jay wasn't world champion yet, but they was main eventers. And they kind of worked together
Like it was trying
in
too
most
hard.
cases. This time, Roman wasn't playing. I said,
No.
when he walked out there, I said, that's the tribal chief. That's that old school head of the table music, not I am greatness music, Roman. And
Yeah.
he went out there and smacked his cousin around to send a message. And
Yeah.
then when it came time to get scrappy with Jacob, he got scrappy with Jacob. He's not playing.
Did he get busy with Jacob? I don't
A little
remember that.
bit.
A little
Okay.
bit.
Yeah, they teased us, bro.
They threw some hands.
Yeah, it wasn't
I said,
enough. I
uh-oh.
thought it was.
I was like,
I want to see this finally.
Yo, but
Give
the crazy part is though, Jacob Fatu's not scared of nobody. But when he seen Roman, it was like, this big cuz. And I keep
It's-
telling
like,
people, I
well,
said, man, he's 8 years older than them.
But
I said,
remember,
Roman is older than them.
Yeah.
I said, Jacob is the part of the baby group was soloing it.
that's the funny part. He just, but he used to say back in the day, he sat at the other head of the table, back when he was the man on the indies. But he comes in, he acknowledges the tribal chief because they want to eat that steak again. It's time. We've been eating all these little chicken tenders
Oh, boy.
and,
Now we call
and
Cody
fish
Chicken.
nuggets.
That's
It's
good protein.
time
What
to
are you talking about?
eat
Thank
really
you.
good
Solid
again.
Jacob
And
Fatu
with-
got the WWE Championship in his sight. So
That's what I'm
don't be
about to
surprised
say.
if it's not
Roman
all
is going to sit
all
there,
bloodline.
and we're going to get a massive bloodline.
Oh, jeez.
Kick JC Mateo out of here.
Yeah, because
We don't need him.
he can go back to
Hughes,
yeah.
Hughes boys
Don't
gonna
disrespect
get
my
them
man.
tag
Don't
titles.
disrespect. There we go.
They gonna
That's
get them
what I'm talking
tag
about.
titles.
They got him already.
And I said, did they
He
got
did
free bird
wide
rules?
6 last week.
And
Yeah, but is it free bird rules?
when it's time,
Possibly.
And let's
when
hope
it's
so.
time,
Mm-hmm.
if Bianca's finger heals and she get that belt, it's gonna be time to proceed with caution. We
Oh
got
crap! I forgot.
A
She's part of the
whole-
bloodline too.
lineup of the
It's
bloodline
gonna be a
waiting to
while,
come
though.
back.
Dang.
It's
They bringing more babies into the world.
but it's got to start because Roman, like I said before, you got Netflix,
Mhm.
and Netflix got a lot of content from video games to
True.
podcasts to a new movie debuting every 3 days. And WWE need to get back on it because they need to be back a part of that top of the bullying search. They
There you
need
go.
to be back in the For You section. And it's the tribal chief that takes them there. Sorry, Cody. You be the QB of the Pro Bowl. The real QB one is coming. The real starting pitcher, starting middle reliever and closer.
Yeah.
That the Wheels don't have.
Come on, don't bring that up right
Listen,
now. It's too early. Spring
That
training
triple
hasn't
threat
started.
match, night one, gonna be Jacob Fatu's moment. Cody, and
Who says it's gonna be a triple threat?
Yeah, we got
Oh, you think
elimination
it's gonna
chamber to
fatal
figure
four-way?
out.
Yeah, why
I
not?
don't
Throw
know.
Sammy in there.
Oh, okay.
I
keep thinking about Sammy.
thought Sammy was gonna win the Rumble, but you know we're gonna leave that alone.
I don't.
You thought that was number 30?
I knew that wasn't gonna happen. Because of freaking Drew McIntyre, he's such a menace. He's got his own problems going on. That the elimination chamber is going to shape a lot of things, and I'm curious to see what happens. So you talked about this, brother guy, earlier. You talked about you were kind of shocked that he kind of made it clear what direction he would go in. So anytime you have two personalities, you have CM Punk and Roman Reigns. Originally, I was not impressed with the idea And this was all before Monday Night Raw, because eventually Roman Reigns kind of called his shot and made it clear who he is going after at WrestleMania. So let's put this in perspective, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. Roman Reigns, CM Punk, got it. All right. Yeah, we know two big names, but they're two good guys at this point. What's the point? I get it, but what's going to make people want to buy this match? So Roman Reigns comes out there, he talks his talk, and CM Punk, it doesn't take him long. You mentioned his name, give it 3 to 5 minutes, he's gonna confront you. That's the beauty of the CM Punk character. He's always confrontational. It almost real life almost mimics kind of work yourself into a shoot. That was his reputation back then, right? And then all of a sudden CM Punk comes out there and he starts running down Roman Reigns. Now we don't see Roman Reigns get run down, but I'm gonna be honest with you. As far as the popularity vote, CM Punk is just as popular as Roman Reigns amongst the people. Maybe not as far as numbers are concerned, but amongst the people in those moments, I CM Punk, it's not a John Cena sucks chance, because John Cena says, I'm in this whole situation by myself. They don't care about my opponent. But just as much as people sticking their ones in the air, they trust me. As soon as that CM Punk chance, he is still a man of the people and he knows it. So when he confronts Roman Reigns and he had this moment, I was like, let's see where this goes. And CM Punk's whole angle was, listen, this is where you want to be at, is because I'm the best in the world. I'm this, that, and the third. If you want to make the money and be in the big shoes, whatever the case may be, I'm the guy you got to go through. Boom. I said, okay. CM Punk talking his talk. Roman Reigns sitting there unimpressed. And then, brothers, we get a history lesson. Roman Reigns begins to dig deep. He begins to go back a few years where he was behind the man that he's about to face at WrestleMania, because in 2012, 2013, whatever years it was where CM Punk was at the top of his game, Roman Reigns was just getting started. And Drew McIntyre's made it clear. Roman Reigns has made it clear. John Moxley's made it clear. Seth Rollins, they all hate CM Punk because who he was. And CM Punk even took credit, says, you know what? Let's not forget, I brought you here in the first place, because we all know that the Shield was supposed to be bodyguards for CM Punk. That's why in those early CM Punk WWE 2K13 promos, we saw this kind of military, utilitarian look from CM Punk, this dictator type style, because the Shield was literally supposed to be his shield. So they start having a little bit of a history lesson, and now they start to remind him, like, yo, let me tell you something, bro. Roman Reigns had to kind of run down CM Punk, says, when you were gone and running your mouth, it got a little personal. You were on your buddy's podcast. We were the ones that held things down. He said the same thing Seth said. When you were running your mouth about this place that we were trying to build, guess what? We took the reins and we've been doing it. And Roman Reigns made something very, very clear. For the first time, I saw a vulnerability in him I've not seen in a long time, because now, guess what? He said, when this is all said and done, you will acknowledge me. And I'm like, okay, cool. We got another big brother, little brother feud now. Because now you got two guys that are trying to fight for the top of the mountain. There's a level of respect that Roman Reigns has always said he had for CM Punk, because guess what? In the back of his mind, no matter how big Roman Reigns is, he's always going to remember, hey, when I came into this business, CM Punk was the guy. No matter what I've done. But guess what? At WrestleMania, he has made it very clear, I'm going to show you and the rest of the world that you had nowhere near on my level. And I was like, the fact that he shot back at CM Punk, the way CM Punk shot back at him, and CM Punk kind of gave him that nod of approval, I said, okay, that's called mutual respect. Now we have a WrestleMania main event. This is night one. The rumors that the WrestleMania night one main event.
Night one?
That's what they're rumored. That's the rumors.
Stop playing with us.
I just thought they just talked to Ice Cube Jr. and Punk said it was night two.
Maybe. I don't know.
What's going to be night two besides this?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It depends. I don't know.
Roman versus Drew.
But
for the WWE Championship.
But yeah, this one here, I was like, okay, I see now. This is why this needs to happen. There's some bad blood here. One, the Shield still hates CM Punk. All of them have made it clear. John Moxley gave Punk the little finger in AEW. So we all know Seth Rollins hates CM Punk, and now Roman Reigns is like, bro, we haven't forgotten the way you were. We haven't forgotten what you did to us. I hate you too. This is why I'm going to take that title from you, and I want you to acknowledge me. I'm like, okay, cool. Roman's trying to get his hit back from some past trauma. He wants to show CM Punk he's just as big of a superstar. CM Punk, whether you love him or hate him, he is a megastar. His name has never stopped echoing the halls of pro wrestling audiences since he left. And now he's actually back. And fellas, we have our WrestleMania main event. Let's talk about it. How you guys feeling about this up to this point? We went through
It's
everything.
crazy.
We went through the Rumble, and now we're here.
Here's the craziest part. When you see this, and I'm glad you clipped this off so you can see it. This is what's going to be the talk, and this has been the talk since Monday, right? This is pure cinema. We know that Triple H is in the mode where he's going to tell the story because there's so much story in these two. It's more story in these two that will fuel us. Just like remember when was it Punk or Drew that was hurt, and we said 6 months they kept that story alive, and they weren't even
Punk, yeah.
in the same arena.
It was
Yeah,
Punk, yeah.
it was Punk, right? So
Yeah.
I see cinema to the point that this clip you got to go back and watch Raw to see the whole clip. But social media is going to give you the stingers. They're going to keep giving you these stingers. You can see the views on everything. It's almost as impactful as the family tree moment when Rock and Roman was displaying the family tree and he slapped Cody. This hits the same way, and it's going to fuel pure entertainment and pure hatred to the point that you're like, oh man, who do I want to root for at this point? Because like you said, it's them CM Punk fans are die hard, but
Oh,
them
yeah.
Roman fans are just as die hard too.
Oh, we know.
Because no matter what he does, it's like it kept when that music hit, and I'm gonna keep going back to WrestleMania 40. We saw the arena just frozen because it's just something about Roman Reigns that you can't deny. It was like I gotta put my finger in the air. I have to at this point, but it was like you were just frozen in that moment because of his. I know we hate that word aura, but his aura. But it's something about when them CM Punk chants go, they don't stop. They believe that stuff. So
Mhm.
this is going. If this is not the night 2 WrestleMania main event, it's got to be something bigger. Only thing bigger than that would be Roman versus what you call it for the WWE Championship. You're like, holy crap! How do you get bigger than that?
Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out of retirement.
Yeah,
Something.
How about
Yeah.
you, brother Hugh?
Cole versus
and The Rock, Stone Cold versus The Rock.
Running back one more time.
One more time.
you
Last
feel?
time.
All right, the game is coming back. He's going to
Oh,
wrestle.
Oh, hit the game. He's going to
Not as,
wrestle
skinny
Triple
as,
H.
not as skinny as he is.
Right.
How do you feel about
Triple
this,
H is
brother
going to-
Hugh? We finally get CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and man, did CM Punk and Roman Reigns set the table in a way it was like, okay, now it's time
How do you
to
follow that?
yeah, that's gonna be tough.
Hey, man, you got to go big or go home because this is our last WrestleMania ever.
Oh, just say you
I'm just saying, bro.
Oh,
But
yeah.
no, I mean, you got to go with the best storyline, to be honest. I mean, I know Roman has history with Drew, but Drew has a lot going on now with Jacob. You building new stars over there in Jacob, and, you know, maybe Sammy might be in the mix. Or
Cody Raheem, y'all keep wanting
Cody,
to
right?
stop. Yeah, don't.
You know, so you have those guys there, so they have their own little thing. But this is the feud that everybody wants to see. Like you said, this is now pretty much Rock Austin for us now.
Oh, that's big. You want to go there? You don't think Cody Rhodes and
Not right now. He fell
Oh,
off.
nope.
He fell off.
It's Rock
Drew-
Austin levels.
This
This is
definitely
definitely Rock Austin levels.
This is Rock Austin levels for us right now. I mean, like you said, the best in the world. He's wearing the throwback best in the world shirt too. From
I didn't even notice that.
2012, WrestleMania 28.
that was
Yeah.
that was his return joint. Philly's best in the world. That was I think that was the exclusive. Like you had to be there tonight to get that one.
Right. But like you said, they have so much history. Going back to the Shield and that whole build up. Not to mention Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
That's
he
the
said
major
you
one
took
right
my
there.
wise man.
The
I mean,
whole
they
history
mentioned
of Paul
it.
Heyman.
They definitely
Exactly.
mentioned it. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Definitely a lot of history.
CM Punk said it early on in the interview. I'm not sure where it was, but he said it's a measuring contest.
Yeah.
That's literally what it is. There's two big egos. One has to be the top dog,
There you go.
right? And Roman is that guy to be the top dog. He's going to take that championship, and we're going to go back to greatness, to a great time when
No,
everything was ran by the bloodline. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's all. You sound like Proud Dusty. I thought he was going to be a star there, Daddy.
He got it. Can't battle it. It's just it.
To be honest, I think CM Punk is better in the chase. Well, to be honest, a lot of people, the majority of the people are better during the chase.
Yeah, CM Punk
Roman
is
Reigns.
because
Yeah.
definitely. I agree with you. It's weird seeing CM Punk as kind of like, hey, I'm the guy, but Now he's like, hey, the chase is always what he's known for. Brian H, talk to the people. How you feeling about this? I don't know why. I don't know why we've been setting this up for Brian H, because we're going to close out with you, and I'm going to leave a nugget at the end of the show. And we're going to walk away from it WCW style. It's still going to be fighting in the ring as the broadcast goes off. But Brian H, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, did they sell this for you? Did they convince the world that this is the match to see? Did they sell you WrestleMania based off this matchup alone?
Absolutely. When you look back at the previous WrestleManias, Roman Reigns has done a phenomenal job at selling you on all of them. You may make an argument about Edge and Daniel Bryan. That was kind of like throwing everything at the wall, see what sticks.
A little bit.
But every WrestleMania felt like it was bigger than the last match that he was in. Except even last year to an extent, because it was personal. Like him and Cody had a business relationship that they had to address at WrestleMania 40 because Cody was trying to finish that goddamn story. But then the next year, he's in it with Seth Rollins and CM Punk, and it was ever so personal. Punk because of everything he said before, but Punk hadn't taken his wise man yet. And then Seth because he was Cody's shield. And Seth has always been. But now this feels bigger than last year and bigger than 40 because now Roman is chasing and he needs to get that belt back. And none other than getting it back from somebody he hates. Because remember, he don't hate Seth Rollins. They brothers who just don't get along no more.
No, I think
like him and like because Seth always says it. He was like,
it's not Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins hate.
No, but Seth will always say like, or they'll both always acknowledge there's a lot of love loss.
Okay.
But this right here is hatred.
I mean, he said I hate you. He said I hate you.
And that was that moment like, whoa, I felt that.
Yeah, a little bit.
And watching that promo was just like locked in old school wrestling, selling you on this. And you know, I was thinking of historical context. And I said, man, if Bret Hart and Hulk Hogan had the history they have now, like as far as they have with each other, but you could have bottled that up and put that in 93 or 94, that's what this would have been. It's like it would have been because you're the guy, but you're holding me back. And you said stuff, and that's what made it so personal. So overall, man, this is it. And by the time we get there, it's going to feel like the biggest main event. Every year, the match is supposed to feel bigger than it did before. You couple that with the Netflix, you know they're going to throw us a few Netflix specials. You know, some Best of Roman Reigns, WWE Vault. They always going to do something. They're going to put together something. So by the time we get there, it's going to feel like a big deal. And I know you said all that you said about CM Punk, and there's no denying his mega stardom, but his stardom is going to continue to elevate. You know, it's going to continue to elevate. He's at Super Bowl Radio Row right now doing press. You know, shout out to Ben Cruz who talked to him today. So you're going to see being in the match with Roman Reigns. It's like we thought, like he was already here. Now he's going to go up to another echelon because Roman is that guy. But make no mistake about it, Punk was always that cult-like following, but the WWE audience gave Punk that crossover following. Those people who don't give a rat's ass about the graps of it and care about the story. Punk is able to grab them, unlike a lot of the children that he was working with over in Riyadh. I mean, in AEW. So that's what's going to make this exciting. And if by the time we get there, I promise you, we are not going, well, y'all not going to be 100% sold that Roman's going to win this match because of the storytelling that they're going to get us. And I wouldn't be surprised if Paul Heyman don't try to weasel his way in this. Because he can't help himself.
Roman has something to prove, man. Like they keep selling this story that look, he can't do it by himself. You had help. All those years you had help. He has something to prove. So they're definitely gonna get real creative and go crazy with this storyline between those two.
And I think he's gonna turn heel.
Who's heel?
During the match? Roman.
How are you going to turn heel? He's going to hit if he hits CM Punk in the balls. The fans are going to go crazy.
Exactly.
And if Seth Rollins helps CM Punk, that's going to be even crazier. Because Seth Rollins is always the thorn in the side.
Well, that's the X factor.
Bloodline comes out there and they like I said, we get back to running it back. Jay is crashing out in front of our very eyes, and then it gets to the point where it's that when it's like, oh, okay, you here, thank you, yeah, we happy to see you. Then they keep beating on him. How did Austin turn heel? It was stupid, but once you realize what was happening, you're like, wait a minute, what is he doing? Before Vince even got in the ring.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
Seth Rollins.
And he hit you with I told y'all, I fooled y'all. I don't need y'all. y'all being there and having y'all behind my back ain't do nothing but cost me my title, and I never was able to get it back. Roman going back a heel.
He said, I ain't got time for you peasants. What'd he say? I'm head and shoulders above all y'all. I run this.
I don't want to see you till Christmas.
This is my camera. You know what I mean?
when he told his cousins that I don't want to see you through Christmas, I knew he was like, okay, he's done giving you guys a chance because I love y'all. I don't want to see y'all till Christmas. This is before Thanksgiving when he said this. I said, well, God dang, Roman, I'm almost like 1, 2, 3. God, and the crazy part is, I'm gonna say the crazy part is, they were upset, like, dang, he's serious. I said they knew he was serious. They like, dang, bro. They look at each other was about to blame. I said that's why certain dynamics just don't change no matter how old you get. I said this is how they grew up. He literally was just like, man, it's your fault, man. What you mean, man? Now he don't want to talk to us till Christmas, man. You done got him all mad. Like that's not like, man. Now he mad now, but we got to deal with this later at some point. I was like, sheesh.
Right.
I love y'all. I don't want to see y'all till Christmas. And they looking at each other like, dang, bro, we done messed up again. So Seth Rollins. If you think Seth Rollins is not going to find his way into this situation, I don't know what way, I don't know what fashion. He hates both these gentlemen.
If he got,
and he don't want Roman back with the title, and he didn't want Punk to have the title, so he's really going to be mad.
He's going to be pissed because that's a spot he feels like he belongs in. Good, brother, you.
That might not be until later though, because he got to deal with Bron first.
Does he?
I mean, that would make sense with the storyline.
Bron's going to have his hands full. That's all I'm saying.
With Logan Paul.
No, I mean, Logan Paul, Adam Pearce. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to figure some things. There's going to be a lot of foolishness that's going on Monday Night Raw because they're all under one roof. And it's like, okay, this is going to get out of pocket at some point. But guess what, though? That's the beauty of it because we are officially on the road to WrestleMania. And I think when you look at the Royal Rumble, I think they did their job well. They kicked us off on the road to WrestleMania. We have Elimination Chamber coming up. We have so many questions that need to be answered, and we have so many potential ideas, matchups. And as time goes on, we're going to see these things unfold slowly but surely. And that's what makes pro wrestling fun. Now, for guys like us who've seen just about everything, the fact that we're sitting here and we can't come to a positive conclusion about how this is going to start or end, it means they're doing their jobs and they're doing it well. So just like them doing their jobs well, we do our jobs well. Also,
man really said LA Knight was going to win the Royal Rumble. That's crazy.
I mean, that was a second pick. Don't do that. He had a good showing, and he's been taking out division. The way he showed up on Raw was hilarious.
He was taking out division.
That's how he's got to be booked. Like coming there doing stuff like that. That's how you keep fans on your side. But definitely follow us on all social media platforms at the Wrestling Realm. Subscribe to our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube at the Wrestling Realm. Don't forget, congratulations, fellas. We're at about 3,000 followers organically on the YouTube. So we're growing. We're not even paying to play right now, but it's all good though. So we definitely appreciate all you guys for sticking with us as we continue to celebrate 15 years of the Wrestling Realm. Stay tuned to our social media platforms, like I said before, because there's going to be a few announcements coming soon. You're going to see a few previews as we celebrate all year long. Everything that happens in this year is going to be very special. It's going to have its place in history. But until then, wrestling fans, stay wrestling fans. Do what you want to do. Enjoy what you enjoy. And we'll see you next week. So with that being said, we out of here. Peace.
Houston, we have a problem.
For all exclusive shows and bonus material, subscribe to our Patreon channel at patreon.com/thewrestling_realm. You can watch all of our Wrestling Realm content anytime on youtube.com/thewrestlingrealm.